In a turn of events that left fans stunned and deeply concerned, Chip Gaines has stepped away from the spotlight, not for a new project, not for business, but for love, for family, and above all, for Joanna. It all began quietly, almost unnoticed. Late in 2024, during the filming of Mini Rennie, Joanna Gaines began showing signs of fatigue. At first, it was subtle. She would sit down between takes, a gesture uncharacteristic of the powerhouse designer. Crew members whispered about her slimmer frame, the dark circles under her eyes, the way she gently rubbed her side whenever she bent over her blueprints. But the schedule was tight, the cameras had to roll, and Joanna, being who she is, kept pushing through. Then, one February morning in 2025, everything stopped. Seconds before filming a scene inside a newly renovated living room, Joanna collapsed. Production came to a halt. The room fell into stunned silence. Within the hour, she was rushed to the hospital. Initial tests painted a worrying picture. A few days later, a diagnosis changed everything: systemic lupus erythematosus, a dangerous autoimmune disease that doesn't just affect one part of the body, but attacks multiple organs, including the skin, joints, and kidneys. The doctors were clear. Joanna needed immediate rest and a long-term treatment plan. Work, for now, had to wait. Chip didn't hesitate. He canceled every single appointment, walked away from a multi-million-dollar television deal, and made one unshakable decision: to stay by Joanna's side, no matter what. And if you're watching this and feeling moved already, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Because we're bringing you the real stories that matter, the ones that remind us what love, commitment, and family truly look like. Back to the story. The news wasn't made public. There was no press conference, no headline. But fans noticed Joanna's absence from Mini Rennie, from Magnolia events, from everything. In March 2025, they were supposed to appear live on the Today Show to unveil their next big project. But the appearance was canceled. Then a short post went live on the Magnolia website. It read simply, "Joanna is taking time to care for herself and her family. We thank everyone for their support." That message, brief and carefully worded, told fans everything they needed to know. Something serious was going on. Then a video leaked, just seconds long. It showed Joanna being helped into a car, head bowed, exhaustion etched into every inch of her frame. She was absent from the April premiere of Mini Rennie. The rumors exploded. Fans began dissecting her past appearances, analyzing her health, wondering aloud on social media if she was okay. Then Chip broke the silence. In a deeply personal Instagram post, he shared a photo of himself holding Joanna's hand. No flashy filters. No polished production. Just a caption: "The light is always there, but sometimes it needs a little protection to keep shining." The image reached millions in under 2 days. It was the first real confirmation that Joanna was not okay. On May 1st, Magnolia Network posted a 2-minute video to YouTube. It was quiet. Simple. Joanna sat beside Chip, her voice calm but firm. "I'm facing some health challenges. It's not easy to talk about, but I know I'm not alone." Chip looked at her, eyes filled with something words can't hold, and added, "We're learning to slow down, and I'll be here until Joe is ready to come back." No background music. No staged shots. Just two people being real, vulnerable, together. Production schedules were revised. Press events were canceled. Joanna vanished from public view. Even her title as executive producer on Magnolia content quietly disappeared. But that wasn't the end. Behind closed doors, something else began to happen. Something no one expected. Their daughter Ella, just 17 years old, stepped forward. She had been interning at Magnolia for a while, quietly learning the ropes, shadowing her mother. But when Joanna stepped back, Ella stepped up. She started by attending internal meetings, relaying ideas from Joanna, organizing post-production, handling social media, all while finishing high school. She didn't need a title. Her actions spoke louder. Her siblings joined in too. Duke, MEK, Crew, each of them adjusting their lives to hold up the family. Crew asked daily, "How's mommy today?" Emmy helped with nutrition plans, sticking menus on the fridge in bright pink marker. Duke went to office meetings with Chip, taking notes for Joanna. Magnolia didn't crumble. It just adapted. Quietly. Strongly. And that's the thing about the Gaines family. They've built homes for others, transformed lives with design, but this time they were renovating something deeper. Their own strength. Their own unity. And they weren't doing it for ratings. They were doing it for love. Chip, the loud, funny, hammer-wielding Texan we've loved since Fixer Upper, became something softer. He started turning down offers, including a massive international expansion of Fixer Upper that could have brought in millions. He withdrew from executive roles, limited public appearances, and spent his days at Joanna's side, driving the kids, walking in the backyard, watching the sun set on their Waco farmhouse. And if you've made it this far, you can probably feel it. This story isn't about fame or fortune anymore. It's about the kind of love that makes you stop everything when someone you love needs you most. If that kind of love means something to you too, hit subscribe, not for the drama, but for the reminder that real life still has real heroes. Joanna didn't return with a big announcement. One day in mid-2025, she showed up quietly at the Magnolia Market. No cameras. Just longtime staff and close friends. Ella had organized a small welcome. Joanna walked through the booths thinner, slower, but smiling fully for the first time in months. Crew held her leg, whispering something that made her laugh. The team clapped. Joanna cried. Not from pain. From love. She didn't return full-time. She now contributes in quieter ways. Short calls, design notes, private check-ins. She's writing, journaling the journey, and with Chip's encouragement, turning it into a book. Not to inspire millions, but maybe just to help one person feel less alone. Chip and Joanna have always preached about the importance of home, of love, of putting family first. For years, they showed us how to renovate walls. But today, they're showing us something far more powerful, how to renovate a life, together. They didn't collapse under pressure. They slowed down, they adapted, and they stayed true to what mattered most. Because sometimes, the strongest homes aren't made of wood and stone. They're built with love, sacrifice, and the quiet courage to walk away from the world to protect the light within. And that's the kind of story worth remembering.